Dad and Rock reacts to The Last of Us. This is Sean.
And this is Chris.
And we are Dad and Rock. We do trailer reactions all the time, just like this one. A new trailer dropped. Decided to react to it. We do an after show each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Currently we're doing Rings of Power. Oh gosh, Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. To roll them off is like it's daunting because there's so many of them. Star Wars Andor. We're also doing Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and Welcome to Wrexham, which has been a fun surprise for us.
There we go. So if you guys like any of those shows or any like pop culture content that's coming out in the future, chances are we're going to cover it. So go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button, join our community, and well, let's go ahead and see why we're here today. We're here to check out what we were saying, The
Last
Last
of
of
Us.
Us.
Yep. Let's just dive right into it.
The roses have faded, there's frost at my door. The birds in the morning don't sing anymore. The grass in the valley is starting to die, and out in the darkness the whippoorwills cry. The darkness is falling, the sky has turned gray. A hound in the distance is starting to fade. Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord, if you hear me, please hold my hand. Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord,
this is your chance.
hear me, please hold my hand.
Out of that shot.
Hold my hand.
You keep her alive.
Hold my hand. Please hold my hand.
And you said everything right.
Hold my hand. Please hold my hand.
Save her. You can save her.
Oh, please understand.
2023.
I'll say it didn't give us a time when in 2023. That's kind of broad.
I know.
I'll go first because I
Yep.
have no connection to the game at all. This.
Yeah.
So while watching it, I kind of got two feelings from it. I got a Walking Dead kind of feel from it,
Mm-hmm.
and I also kind of got a Resident Evil type feel from it. So, and neither of them are bad. That's not a bad thing for me in either way. Between the way
Right.
the trailer looked, I don't know what that creature was that was making that clicking noise. I seen Lady Mormont. I'm game.
Okay, you did recognize her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the biggest badass in Westeros back in Game of
Yes.
Thrones.
Yeah.
The song that they had playing, the soundtrack, I didn't recognize this actual song. I don't know if it's something specific for that or not, but
It's Hank Williams song, old school western, country western too.
yeah, it all fit. I mean, unlike another trailer that we watched here recently, this one here completely did it for me.
Oh, good. Okay. So yeah, it's putting its vibes out there hardcore. As far as like keeping the same tone as the game, this is like the imagery, the music, the casting of the characters, the cinematography. It's based off The Last of Us, of course, that came out. I think it was a PS3 game originally. It got adapted into PS4, and I think they even did a PS5 remaster recently. It's like one of
Oh
those
wow.
games that are like for Sony is like, one of their primo titles.
Yeah.
And it was developed in a time where video games could be cinematic. I think of games like, the Metal Gear Solid games and stuff where it's almost like you're watching a movie, but you're also
Yeah.
kind of playing it through it. Um, and this really captured that as far as like the cityscapes, the post-apocalyptic thing where you've got all the plants and stuff kind of growing through the buildings. And it is a zombie thing. So you're right on that as far as like Resident Evil, Walking Dead vibes. What's I think these are the most special zombies though, because they're almost the most based in reality, if that's even possible, because there's something called like the cordyceps or something. It's a fungus that actually does exist here in the real world, but it only affects insects. Basically, it's a fungus that'll get on like a bee or an ant, and it starts to spread in their brains, and it like freaks the ant out and makes it like walk around and like not act like itself and then go to other ants to spread its fungus around to the other ants.
Okay, yeah.
So basically the story of this world is that that fungus that exists in our actual world, it mutates and starts to do the same thing to people. And
Oh,
that's
that's
what you
fucking
see.
terrifying. I mean,
I
I just
know.
got up to wow.
And that cordyceps thing that you saw was basically an infection that got so bad that it spread out to that. Yeah, they I think they even call them clickers in the game where the fungus grows out to their face and they can't see anymore, so they make this clicking sound to use like echolocation to like find their way around and stuff.
Dude, I don't know if
It's
I'm ready for this now. Here in the
dude.
game, I don't know if I'm ready. After
The
what we
game
just
was
been through?
fun. Here's the best part of this though. Like, Resident Evil games are fun. They're great games. They've never made really great movies or great media, but the games are great. Walking Dead, the first, 3, 4 seasons of that was really fun, really good. The comic book series is good. Walking Dead really kind of went past its prime. But this not only does it have a cool concept for the zombies, a cool setting, but the story, the characters in the story, I think by far is better than those other 2, franchises.
Okay. Is
This
this
game is
something
story
that
first.
I should go on YouTube and find the cutscenes from the game before watching the show?
I almost I think if they weren't releasing this show, then maybe I would suggest it, but, I almost because if you and I are gonna cover it, then
Should I go in cold?
I think you should go in cold just so you can, have
Kinda
one
like
of
a
us going in
reverse of
fresh.
what we did on Sandman. Well, you went in
Yes.
cold and I had all the knowledge for.
Yeah, and I think this show is really gonna draw you in from the first episode because how that initial game opens up, um, the character that you start out as and as you play and that first initial, I don't know, first hour of the game that you play, it's really just an introduction to this world. It draws you in like no other game I've ever played before, and I
Really?
know they're gonna do something similar to open up this series too. So yeah, I think it's one to look forward to for
So it
sure.
sounds like this trailer set the expectations for this show for you really high. Like there's
Yeah,
a bar like you expected to be set by what they've showed us.
and we're getting Pedro Pascal too. He's
Can't go
starring
wrong
as
with We
Joel.
can't go with the Mandalorian or Lady Mormont.
Yeah, I
I
know, and
mean,
they're together, yeah, in this series, so I think it's gonna be really good, and just seeing the care that they put into it because you can even tell by that trailer, like, it's shot gorgeously, like, really good
yeah. Oh,
cinematography.
that was one thing that really came out to me. It was
Yeah,
like, the way the cinematography behind all of it.
right,
And like I said, the whoever cut the trailer together, because the scenes that went together, the music that was a part of it,
yeah,
it just like for someone like myself that has no idea what's going on,
right,
I'm like, I'm in. I'm just watching. Like, I'm just. It had me locked, and that's
yeah.
the best thing I can say. I mean, there was no thought of picking up my phone.
That's good. The only reason you may pick up your phone this time is so you don't have to watch a scary scene, one of those tension scenes where you're, like, trying not to look at the screen.
Oh yeah,
Um, but, I think the only problem with this trailer is that it didn't give us a month or a date or, like, 2023, that could be November, December next
that
year, like
could be a year from now. Well, if they're
yeah,
this far along, I feel like if they release a trailer like that, post production feels like it's along its way pretty well.
yeah,
So I don't think it's going to be. I wouldn't be shocked if it's summer or spring.
right.
I would be shocked if it's fall or winter.
Either way, I can't wait. It sounds like you and I are gonna be watching this thing together. Maybe it's something we'll cover on our, live, after show that we do each and every week. Sounds like something that's right up our alley.
Well, it's another HBO.
Yeah,
It's another HBO. And honestly, if you think about it, so I think they've come out and announced that there is going to be a Jon Snow, House, not House of the Dragon, but
House
Game
of
of
Snow? I
Thrones
don't know.
show.
Yeah,
So when are they going to stagger their shows? What's already in production? What's done?
right.
Because they're starting to crank out material again. For a while, it seemed
Yeah,
like everything slowed down. Even pre-pandemic, things were slowing down on HBO and what they were putting out,
yeah.
and now they're ramping it back up pretty heavy. So I think they're going to stagger the shows a little bit.
I'm glad you like that one. Alright, good. That's a win.
There we go. So, guys, we're Dad and Rock. If you didn't see us at the very beginning, we do reactions like this, and this is going to be a complete flip. If you guys watched our reactions to the Sandman, I knew everything about it. Shaun knew nothing, so Shaun was going in cold. This
Mhm.
is going to be a complete flip of that. So, if you enjoy watching someone that knows what they're watching and someone has no clue what's going on, this may be the reaction show that you're looking for. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out all the other content we got out there, join our community, and I think that's pretty much a wrap for this one. What do you think?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, guys, until we hopefully see you next time, go ahead and keep it cheesy.
See ya.